went to a baseball game last night, right?
Tell him the weird shit.
We went to a baseball game last night, and I'm obviously, now that I'm on the fence of this employment with this company, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a few beers, enjoy the game. Dad got us some good seats, and I hadn't really eaten just because I wasn't in the mood throughout the entire day. I was trying to figure out the fuck was going on because I found out about the suspension, and because I've been sick, I can't hear very well. I haven't been able to hear. Everything's all congested. So when people are talking to me, especially on my left side, because I'm partially deaf on that side, I can't ever hear anything unless I'm looking at you. So someone's talking to me, I don't ignore you intentionally.
He's reading lips.
Yes, I have to read. I have to read your lips. So I had a good buzz. I had a couple beers in. I hadn't really drinking that much in a while, just because I'm normally pretty intelligent when it comes to it. I'm never really drunk around anybody because I can control my shit. I was drinking a few beers. I get to the bathroom, and there's one guy in the bathroom that's talking to me. He's talking to me while we're in the urinal. He's talking to me while we're next to the urinal, side to side, trying to have a conversation. He's drunk, and I could tell. And I'm just sitting there, and I can't hear him. So he pokes me on my shoulder while I'm peeing, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, I was trying to ask you, your thoughts on the game and how this weather is and stuff. And as he's talking to me, because obviously I'm not really coherent.
Yes.
He's trying to talk to me while we're still going to the bathroom. I
pissing.
I go to go wash my hands.
No.
I go to go wash my hands, and he's still running a conversation. And because my mental state of just not being a respectful human being, what I do in order to get him to stop talking to me is I just rip a really loud fart. Still washing my hands, and it's one of those long ones where it's like towards it. So I'm not looking at him, but I'm washing my hands while I'm doing it, and I can tell that he's slowly pulling away from the conversation because all I heard was he's like, if you didn't. So after I was done doing that, I turned and looked at him. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm still having a hard time hearing. Did you say something? I didn't realize that I was farting because I was pretty buzzed in between. But I just knew. I realized that I'd started one, and I didn't realize that it was still going. So. So as he's trying to talk to me, and the fart is coming to a close. He turns and looks at me, and you can just see like the distraughtness in his face, like if he didn't want it. If you didn't want to talk to me, that's all you had to say, more or less. And I look at him, and I was like, no, I apologize, man. I can't have a hard time hearing. He's like, yeah, that's why you had to sprinkle a little fart in there in order to dilute the conversation. Like, talk to me like we're friends. And I was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. And I didn't realize until I started walking away. I was like, oh, I had still been farting the whole time. So I got out of the bathroom, turned the corner. I had a big cheesy smile on my face. I get down the stairs, and for the rest of the time, I'm sitting with everybody, and I'm like, I knew I needed to fart again, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing it or not anymore. So I'm like, I'm just gonna hold it. So shout out to everybody that was there with me.
You had an elderly moment.
Yeah, that was me being partially deaf, still being sick, and being a little bit more drunk than I expected.
Flappy cheeks.
Yeah, that was. I can picture him on the other side of him. He was like, yeah, and the way the Aviators play, and huh? And just stopped.
You okay,
just hear
buddy?
Oof, the roadblocks. Oof.
No, because I don't know if you saw the videos, but Mark and Jack have played it where they're in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's what made me think of that.
I saw the bathroom thing
like,
where
the octopus tentacle came under the door.
How
and was like, hey, buddy.
He drops the grenade on the guy and it blows up and
you blew up your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that.
So now that we've had our icebreaker,
you saw they dropped another Full Metal?
Did they? Is it live action?
Of course.
I'm not
and
touching
it's Netflix.
that shit.
No, not even close. But
we'll get there one day.
Super over the last weekend.
Oh yeah, I heard it came out.
Yes.
Is it good? Is it worth it? I'll say that. Is it worth it?
I give it, and this is me being very modest. Even my brother went and saw it the day before. I went and saw it with Chris and Mike right afterwards, and with my coworkers. My brother gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oof.
Really good. Which is good for Noah, because he was even saying one of my boys from work, he gave it like a 9.8 because he's a diehard Dragon Ball fan.
That's better.
As we all are. I give it an 8 out of 10 because it's the CGI that kills me.
See.
But
is it too clean?
No. So there's parts where There's parts where you can see the CGI. Like, anytime they're focusing on Gohan and Piccolo, it looks fantastic. Gohan looks amazing. They made him look dope. In the fights, when you hear them hit, you can feel it.
Nice.
When there's a part where Goku and Vegeta are still fighting on another planet, and they're teaching Broly to fight without going angry.
Oh,
because
yeah.
anytime he fights, I have to destroy everything. So they're like, you need to learn how to control it. So Whis makes Goku and Vegeta fight with no world-ending moves.
Right.
And no transformations. He said, he goes,
So
nothing that'll destroy the planet.
Right.
And yeah, so Broly has to sit there and watch it. So that's one of my down things is I wanted them to use Broly, and they didn't. They show him trying to power up, and then Goku's like, hey, chill. He goes, you can't keep getting this angry. You just want to fucking destroy everything. It doesn't do us any good.
Right.
So they have a
It's
clash.
like a side story.
And the CGI and the clashing is so bad.
Oof.
With those two. I'm like, this is just fucking, it's too much. You can tell. I've seen better graphics in a video game.
Well, no, that's why I missed the old drawing, because even though it looked
but there's
old,
a dope.
it's good.
The first 10 minutes, they do a recap for who's never seen Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
The whole Dr. Gero story.
Nice.
And the sketching.
Yeah.
It looks like, remember Okami?
Yes.
It looks like that. The
Why didn't
transformation.
they make the whole fucking movie like that?
It takes time and money that they don't have.
See?
But then you know what? And this is the thing. You know
This
what
might
happened?
get sick of this shit.
What I think it is because obviously it didn't have a huge fan base as much as Dragon Ball Z did.
No.
And now Fortnite took it. So now that it's on, you saw that, right?
I saw that stupid fucking commercial.
But look what's happening.
What?
Because Fortnite pushed that up.
Uh-huh.
Their sales skyrocketed. So
Yeah.
now they have the money to budget.
Whoop the fucking do.
Actual.
We'll see if they do anything
it's smart
with it.
marketing.
We'll see if they do anything with it.
But the end fight scene with Cell Max and androids, it's phenomenal.
Well, because that was my only issue with Super. It was like, guys, we're doing more of the same. More Goku and Vegeta adventures.
So they got rid of Goku and Vegeta pretty much, and it's all Gohan and Piccolo based.
Which is good. It's a little late. It's a little late.
And
Skippy.
Gohan Beast is dope.
Yeah.
But I fucking cannot stand what they did with his hair. Because his hair's so thick. It's like Gohan when he was a kid. It matched when he was a kid because he was tiny. Now that he's an adult, his hair's so fucking long. It's garbage. But it's dope because he adapted Piccolo's special beam cannon. Yes. At the very end when he smokes Cell, because Piccolo gets his super mode,
yes,
his
and it looks
God mode.
gorgeous.
It's so good. It's so good, and they refer to shit like there's little hints and like jokes. Gohan has glasses on all the fucking time.
Ugh.
And Piccolo asks him, because when he goes Super Saiyan, he has to have glasses on. And he looks at him, he goes, why do you wear those glasses? And Gohan's like, I can't see without my glasses. He goes, but then you go Super Saiyan and it fixes it? And Gohan's like, yeah, I don't know how that works. They make jokes like that. And the jokes in there are really funny. He's fighting an android, and every time the android hits him, you see pow and boom in the back. And Piccolo's like, I don't understand why I can see his move every time he hits me.
Okay.
He picks up Pan because he needs Gohan
They brought Pan back.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were going to retcon her.
Pan's 3 years old.
Cool.
So he picks up Pan to get Gohan, because he says Gohan's gotten weak.
Yeah.
And they know that Dr. Gero is coming back and the Red Ribbon Army's coming back and all that bullshit.
Fucking
and that
amazing.
Cell's getting made. So Piccolo's the only one on the planet right now.
The Z fighters.
As a Z fighter, because most of the other Z fighters are gone. Goku and Vegeta are on another planet.
If you're not Goku, Vegeta, or Gohan, you're useless.
So Piccolo tries to get Gohan, and he realizes that Gohan's fucking trash now.
Yeah.
So he lets the Red Ribbon Army kidnap Pan to get Gohan amped up, and he dresses as a Red Ribbon Army
hilarious
person. And during the fights, Gohan just starts amping up, getting more and more pissed. And so, but he's losing. So Piccolo grabs Pan, and he goes, "I need you to act really scared," and holds her up in the air and starts hitting her. And so she starts crying, and you see Gohan just lose it.
Yes.
Lose it. He goes, what's his unlocked mode?
Not legendary. Shit.
So he doesn't
Mystic.
So he doesn't do Super Saiyan 2. It shows him in his base form. He goes Super Saiyan, and then he re-unlocks Mystic, because Mystic's this weird area where he can't control it.
Where he's Super Saiyan but not.
Oh, dude, when he goes Mystic, it looks so good.
Does it?
You can see the whole demeanor. Like when they're clashing, like they're showing sweat and grinding teeth and everything. But when he goes Mystic, it's like he's just no facial expression. He's just like fucking destroying him.
Yes.
So the whole thing looks good. I give it now. Talking about it again now. I give it an 8.5.
We should have got this movie after BoJack's.
Yes. Piccolo looks good. I really like they gave him his god form, and he makes himself huge, like Attack on Titan.
Nice.
Because he had the ability when he fought Goku in Dragon Ball. Forever ago. Clip.
No.
He fought Goku as Dragon Ball, and so he makes himself huge. So him and Cell Max are going toe to toe, and Gohan does the special beam cannon. And Piccolo gives him shit at the end. He's like, what was the... He stops Gohan. He goes, what was that move you used at the end? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, don't lie to me. That was my move. And he goes, well, yeah. And he goes, how did you learn it? And he goes, well, I've been practicing on the side. He goes, ugh. He goes, sometimes, man. And he just goes and walks away.
Fucking
But it looks good.
I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it for Gohan.
Yeah.
I'm watching for Gohan. All right. So, that's it for that first part. Yeah. We're going to jump off to the next part.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sick. I still feel like I'm...
Get down with the sickness?
No. I did that at work a couple days ago. I went, People started coughing, laughing at it.
They started coughing, laughing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised you didn't get any kind of sickness with having the kid here.
I am built different.
You're built different?
I'm built.
I feel like everybody I know around town got this sickness.
I mean,
and it's like not even...
It's the weather, first of all. What? Because it's hot outside. What do? At home, you're blasting your AC. Your car, you're blasting your AC. And you go to work, it's blasting the AC.
But from what I saw, everybody that got sick is because school started.
Well, yeah.
All these people that got sick that I know got sick from their kids.
For the most part. Now, he's brought in his house to its knees.
Yes.
Once or twice. But lately, no, he's been good.
No, yeah, like
thankfully.
he got sick. A couple people I know that go to the jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, their kids got sick, and then at jiu-jitsu, everybody else got sick. One of my coworkers, she was about as sick as I was.
Speaking of that, really quick side note: Andrew Fauci.
Andrew Fauci.
Anthony Fauci. I'm stuck on it. Anthony Fauci. I think this was from 2012 or so. Somebody dug up an interview he was doing, and he actually said, if you so you're not vaccinated, but you haven't caught the sickness, right? And there's a epidemic. The best vaccination for you is to catch that sickness and recover from it, because it's stronger than any immunization you could ever have.
It makes sense.
10 years ago.
Somebody made a comment a while back. It's like if the whole purpose in why people cough is to clear stuff up in their throat, but it's also Mother Nature or human mechanics to pass it so that people
can get stronger.
If we weren't supposed to pass sickness amongst one another to build immunity, we would have a built-in system to stop us from coughing and spreading.
Yes, you would get a cold.
Yes, my hand would be permanently attached to my face to stop me from...
naturally start walking in one direction and just die. Yeah, and the human race would be better. Yes, but we spread virus and disease. It's meant to happen, but because it helps our genetics. It makes us stronger.
It's still up in the fucking air. Like, I've been out this entire week from work, not by choice. I got sick on Friday or Saturday. I didn't start feeling it until Saturday. I was watching the UFC fight with my boys, and I kind of felt a little bit of a cough. It was the cough. The cough is the biggest thing. It was an itch in the back throat and the cough. Sundays when I got hit with the fever and the body aches. I was like, okay, I know my body. I'll run it for 3 days. I'll be good to go. Monday, I went to work, and was supposed to do another bike academy this week. And that bike academy was going to be rough because I didn't want to fucking do it. They knew I didn't want to do it last week because I think it's bullshit that they keep having us do it in the middle of fucking summer.
Which is stupid.
Because they're not the ones doing it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I didn't want them to think I wasn't coming in out of spite.
Yes.
So I still showed up. Still running a fever, still being sick, and I rode not 5 miles, 10 miles. We rode from the Konami building all the way to the South Outlets, all the way to Warm Springs, and then coming down Warm Springs. And I told you what happened down Warm Springs. From Warm Springs to Eastern, I got hit by a car.
Yeah, he got hit by a car.
I got hit by a car. My leg got pinned, and I almost got dragged underneath the car until I pedaled off. And then my other coworker fucking hit the car.
Oh, yeah. Did you say he Supermaned over?
He hit the car and destroyed his nuts.
What is it? It reminds me of that. I think it was like that Blink 182 song. It's like, where do we go from here? I'm feeling it.
So
that's you.
After all that, I put my body through it. I was still functioning. I was like, I needed to be outside anyways to burn this fever off. My bosses did not give a fuck. They could not care about me at the end of the day. They don't care. A lot of bosses don't care about their employees.
No.
But the other female that was working there, she was sounded sicker than me. Love her to death. She definitely helps me out and a lot of other people that we work with, but she was struggling. So she was getting ready to leave. She was getting ready to leave for the day, and she left like an hour, 2 hours early, so they gave her half a point. I was planning on staying all the way through. So my sickness was just, okay, well, I'll still go through the bike academy. I'll be fine by tomorrow. No big deal. Fine. And I told him, I was like, if I can't, I won't come in Tuesday, be good to go, and then finish the bike academy Wednesday to Friday. Somehow, of course, because it's still a fucking thing that COVID is still in existence.
Yeah.
CDC law doesn't. It's a recommendation in the state of Nevada. It isn't an actual law in itself.
No, they can't.
If you work for a private property, Their law changes.
employer
Yes,
can
and
force
it's
you.
so fucking ridiculous. So it's like I got voluntold when I already knew I didn't have COVID because I still had a bunch of the COVID tests from when I got it last May or in May. I knew it was going to come out negative. Took 2 tests, came out negative. I was like, I know what COVID is. I felt it last time.
He's not pregnant.
No,
Yay.
it was just a fucking cough, and it was the fevers and all that bullshit. But because they counted all the symptoms, they told me to go on leave until I had an actual pharmaceutical one.
Of course.
I'm like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I don't even know what the fuck the point in this story was.
No, it's okay. You go.
Just to sum it up, all the time that I had off, I was expecting to go back to work today, and I ended up not due to unfortunate circumstances because miscommunication on management. So I don't know if I'm out of work. I don't know what's going on, but I wanted to kind of move a little bit more forward with when it comes to being sick or when it comes to your own personal shit, keep your shit to yourself because people tend to exploit what's happening with you I don't know how to explain it. I've never been in a situation where I've been told I don't have a choice in what it is that I'm doing. And it's like, I can normally work my way through and try to finesse that system. But then when I'm told this is what we want because we're afraid of what you are going to do,
yes,
we need to get you out. And I was like, okay, well, voluntold, put on leave, find out I'm not put on leave. I don't call out. I get suspended for not calling out.
Yes.
Long story short.
Welcome to the corporate world.
Yeah, exactly. One of the most bullshit things in forever. Like I even pleaded and told him, I was like, look, man, a little bit of a spoiler to it. Bought a new home. Going to be moving in relatively soon. Going to be setting up a studio. Oh, it's not a spoiler. But this puts everything into perspective to realize, again, you can never have one source of income because I hate that my livelihood is in the hands of 2 shitty individuals based off of what their mood is.
Yeah.
Not actual logic on why someone's in trouble.
Not based off of your merit.
Exactly. Not my merit. Like, I said, I've never been late. I came in with a fever.
Yes.
To prove a point that I was not going to be spiteful and call off of this academy.
Yes.
Did everything I needed to do. Still stayed. And I got punished for it.
Yes.
Be selfish. Do things for yourself in order to benefit yourself. Don't do things to benefit other people because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck what you're doing.
Well, you take care of yourself as best you can. You know what I mean? You have to sacrifice and you have to make the tough calls. But it's one of those things of, like Lynn said, we all know. We're all adults here. Your job doesn't care about you.
No.
They give you sick days because they have to.
I want people to be aware of what's been going on around town. Obviously, crime has increased. With what knowledge I do know, working, or I would hope to still be working for one of the bigger corporations that run this town.
You'll be fine.
I know. It's me doing too many moves in my head, but...
Yes.
So, the 11th, which was... What's it? Today's 26th. What was the 11th?
That was a Thursday. 2 weeks ago.
So, yeah, about 2 weeks ago. There was a high-speed chase here in town. So, Metro has a no-chase policy. They won't chase in town. Henderson can chase.
I thought that was just the motorcycles.
No, Metro has a zero-chase policy.
Oh, wow.
Henderson will chase in town. Because Henderson's obviously, it's not in a rural area around a big city. It's on the outskirts. Like, you can do it in between housing areas. Chase in the middle of the town. If I chase someone on Las Vegas Boulevard, people are going to get fucking killed.
For the most part, yeah.
So the helicopter chase. The helicopter chase, they won't vehicle chase.
Got it, yeah.
Does that make sense?
So the helicopter will track you and the cars will just kind of be behind.
They'll be behind. They'll wait until it gets to another, like North Las Vegas or a rural area. They're just not going to
run up on your ass.
Exactly. So some... jackwagon by the name of Justin Venegas from Las Vegas.
Justin Venegas from Las Vegas. Are you a vegan, Mr. Venegas?
What did the guy say from Donut Operator? It's when you take a little... No.
What?
I can't remember when the guy from Donut Operator made a joke. He's like, when you're ate a lot of paint thinner as a kid and they ask you what your name is. My name is Justin Venegas from Las Vegas.
I got you, yay!
I got you, yay! So he did a GTA thing, like he robs somebody out of what was that?
You need to make this sound way worse. You said a GTA. That sounds fun.
Grand Theft Auto in real life. Yeah. He robbed. I think it was like an Escalade. It was like a white Escalade.
He stole at gunpoint.
He pulled up next to. He had already stolen.
7-year-old lady.
76-year-old person pulled his gun out, jumped through that person's window.
Just through the window
to get them out so he could take their car
in front of other people.
And while a helicopter was already patrolling over because they knew that this person had already done the crime. Was driving around town, and this is what's crazy to me. I used to live off of Desert Inn in Decatur, and there's a Smith's in walking distance from my complex. I've been there forever. I lived on that area for about a year or two.
Yeah.
So I'd been over to that Smith's multiple times. I knew exactly where the Smith's was. This guy, while they tried to do a pit maneuver on him to stop him, I don't know exactly where the cross streets were for that.
Yeah.
They attempted to do the pit maneuver, but they couldn't knock it off.
Right.
And because the driver turned around and started firing rounds at Metro, and Metro has the ability, their windows, it can eat rounds,
which is amazing.
It's cool. It's like a double layered plexiglass window to where you can fire rounds at it and it'll stop the rounds. But then you can shoot through it without any recoil.
Yeah, because that cop went full Resident Evil. He was just like, fuck.
When the FTO was driving with his rookie and he told the rookie, pit maneuver this guy, which, tap him in the tail and get him to spin around, and he missed, and Venegas decided to fire rounds back, that FTO was like, fuck this, pulled out his Glock, started firing rounds
from the passenger seat. Fuck it.
Punched through that window to try and hit the car. Car kept going. He ended up, in between this whole back and forth chase, which, like I said, they normally don't do, and ended up at that same Smith's, right across the street from where I used to live. And at that Smith's, he got in a firefight there.
In the parking lot.
In the parking lot. And there's no cover in that parking lot. All you got is a gas station and the actual store.
Other cars and people. That's your cover.
This guy got in a firefight in the parking lot, which I can only imagine. If I was going there with the girl and the kid, and I get there, and all I see is this car fucking roll up, Metro roll up right behind it, and they start firing rounds. It's like,
I'm stuffing them under the car. Like the closest car I can find, I'm stuffing my girl and kid under. Everybody's got
to duct tape low and do that. And
it's like, hit the ground, get under something, and hope for the best.
Right. And let it burn out.
Yeah.
Regardless, they didn't get him right then and there. He got back in his car, fucking took off, and then he popped up over near Blueberry Hill.
Yes.
Right there in Desert Inn, Charleston, where Walmart is.
No. Decatur and Oakey.
Decatur and Oakey. Kind of near where
Blueberry Hill was.
In between Blueberry Hill and the indoor swap meet.
Yeah. That's
right
Oakey.
In between,
that's
right
Oakey.
There on Oakey. And he went head on into a canine unit. Head on into a canine unit, hard.
Right.
And destroyed the front of that car.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Luckily nothing happened to the canine. He was fine, but they don't wear seatbelts, so that dog got fucking thrashed around in that cage.
Dogs are durable.
But they hit that guy with so many goddamn charges.
Yes.
I don't even think he was local. I mean, I wish I could look into it more. I'd have to ask my roommate to see if she can look into see, but I
mean, his information is public for what it's worth. Most of your information is public domain.
I don't feel like a local would go to that extent.
Honestly,
because they
it's not even about that anymore. Because back in the day, yes, we could have said that. Where it's like, oh, that dude's from Vegas. Like how everybody's kind of the latest meme is, Florida man. Like, oh, what's the next story we're gonna see about?
Donut operator does the same
We used to be able to do that with Vegas. You'd be like, nobody from Vegas would do shit like that. Now, bro, I don't trust anybody. Everybody is capable of every fucking thing.
I said, I'm seeing it more and more, and I just want to put it out to whoever's listening. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Don't walk out in public with your headphones on and not be able to actually hear what's going on around you. Have one headphone in, one headphone out. Like
it's hard to say that.
It's just
like I see where you're coming from.
Preemptively bracing in for a car crash that it's going to come at some point.
Right.
And it's hard to have to flex like that all the time.
It's hard to do that because you got your 9 to 5. You got people riding the bus. You got people just who don't have a car.
Right.
They walk up and down that street every fucking day.
It's hard to not go about your day to day and not have your head on a swivel.
Right.
And a lot of people I notice, which it still irritates me to this day, when I used to be an officer, it's like people are unconsciously moving.
Oblivious.
There could be a fight about to happen. I'm ready to put someone in mechanical restraints. They're swinging their fists around, getting ready to start trading blows with me. I got 2 other officers next to me, foaming at the mouth, ready to go hands on, and then you'll get a pedestrian just walk right in between us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's going on here, guys? Yeah. And it's like that awareness not only could hurt me, but hurt the pedestrian and everybody else that's surrounding. And it's like, people just don't know. People don't understand that things are getting a lot worse.
Well, that's why I said, that's why I got out of that line of work. Shit was getting worse when I was doing security.
That was in those types of areas. Now we're having these things happen in an area that isn't even, you understand in the casino because there's gambling, there's loose women, there's alcohol, there's drugs. Out in town, there should be safe areas, and now there's not.
I mean, but has it ever really been safe?
Yes. We used to be able to ride our bikes everywhere.
Yes, but how many kids were getting hit? We just didn't hear about it.
More or less because I feel like it wasn't happening as frequently.
We would see crosswalks pop up out of nowhere, street lights pop up out of nowhere.
Now it's being more, so let's say that it was happening, but less frequently than it is now.
Yeah, meaning maybe less frequently, and I'll give you that. People are a little more unhinged.
It's more unhinged, more rampant than when it's now that there's multiple things being seen.
But see, that falls onto, like me and you talked about when COVID first hit. You can't keep people locked inside of a fucking house for X amount of months, X amount of years.
That's already passed, though. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, but people are still fucked off, bro.
I feel
Any type of trauma, like me and you, we know how to deal with trauma. We can figure it out, mental our way out of it. It's like, okay, I feel it, but I don't have to let it own me.
True.
Most people don't do that. People are just fucked off now, bro. Like domestic violence went through the roof.
You know what? And
everything.
I would notice it too. I feel like I had a very strong mind in between all of this. And I know being in the pandemic, it did. It altered my persona to where I have a lot more bad days than good. I try to really cherish and hold on to the good days, which gives me patience.
Right.
More patience than I've ever had in my life. But then when the bad days are there, it's like, fuck, man. Like, depression's a real thing. Anxiety is a thing that I normally don't get now that I get. And it's more or less because
because we never get a break.
No, there's no break. I even, when I was going, just to kind of revert back to, I'm not going to touch on it too much, but with the whole shit that's going on with my job, I don't plead for anything.
Right.
I've never done it because I feel like pleading is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness.
It's weak.
It falls upon deaf ears. People use that to take advantage of you.
I don't want your pity.
So me pleading, it's just been like, it just gives them that, oh, well, you know, this is why we're doing this to you anyways. And I told them, I was like, I am never not here unless I'm sick. The last time I had this many days off, I had fucking COVID.
Right.
The time before that.
Right.
The year before.
Right.
I have so much PTO, I can't even use all of it.
Right.
And it's like you this consistency of needing to grind becomes so exhausting to where that whole old analogy of there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, it doesn't seem realistically like there's a tunnel to begin with. It's just kind of like, you know, you're going to be traveling in the darkness and you might get little pockets of light here and there, but there is no grass green on the other side because the consistency to have to grind to get to that area.
Yes.
Who says you're ever going to get to that area?
It depends where you're going, right? It depends what you're doing.
It's just kind of like that null void of, hey, let's let you think there is something good at the end so you can keep pushing. When now it's like, I've been grinding for such a long period of time, and the best opportunity I think I've gotten is, you know, cool, I got my own place.
Right.
I bought it.
Right.
But it's only going to make my life harder, not easier. Because
temporarily,
now I have, exactly. It's another temporary step in order for me to have to push even more past my point.
Right.
It's like Dragon Ball Z, I have to go into a limit breaker.
Like you're at your breaking point.
I'm already past Super. I'm already at Super Saiyan. Now I'm in Kaioken, and I got to go into limit breaker mode in order to go beyond to make sure that this purchase I just made will better me down the road, because it's not realistically something I even wanted. It's I knew I needed to purchase this home because you can't afford living in an apartment anymore. Without having multiple fucking roommates. Unrealistically, this is just a flex to be like, all right, I bought my spot. It's mine. I don't need to fight with people if something does or doesn't happen. I can change things the way I want to change it. But it ain't going to be easy because now my rent's double what it was.
It's a sacrifice.
Just to sum all that up. But I'm done.
Equivalent exchange.
Law of equivalent exchange. Just really
something like that. Okay.
Right.
We're going to talk about...
Don't say the name.
I'm going to say the name.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it because I do kind of want to hint.
Like a secret? You want it to be a secret?
No, not a secret. I'm going to put off the reason why I think that this person is and is not important. Me and D have different opinions on it.
Fair.
You even stated he's an irrelevant person right now. I feel like he has the opposite effect. I feel like there is a purpose to him. Do I think he's a good person? No.
He's relevant to me as an individual.
I think to society right now, I feel like it's a relevancy to bring in a person like this. We're not going to talk about him only because he has such a big target on his back right now, even worse than Joe Rogan and a lot of other people. He was the most Googled person on the planet for the last month. And the planet, that's high. Like even over like Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, anybody else like that, they put him at the high ring. So you can go look him up yourself.
Yes.
But his way of putting things out there, a lot of shit that he talks, he comes off being very misogynistic, like just very men need to work, women need to stay home and bear children kind of shit. Traditional. And his methods are very interesting because it's intense, and it's a mentality which I do respect more because of how his father raised him, because he has this. His father was a grandmaster in chess.
Well,
and
he was never officially given the title, but yes, might as well.
Pretty much to the point. Yeah. So from me, and this is something I learned a lot too. I am an advocate of playing chess only because I think it does give you the ability to slow down and think methodically ahead. Yes. I'm not a checkers player. I'm not a step-by-step. I like to plan.
You can't be emotional playing chess.
I feel like you can apply chess to everything. My
grandpa
taught me how to play chess a long time ago, and it was the same aspect. That my grandpa kid was so good at chess, he could be cooking in the kitchen, and I could be in the living room. He knew what square was what, and he could be like A7 to this, and I'd be like, okay, I move my pawn, B3 to this, and he knew where the parts were, and that was just amazing to me. Like, you're not even in the room looking at what I'm doing.
Memorize that bitch.
And it puts you. But he was also a computer programmer for Smuckers.
Well, there you go.
So it puts him above the spectrum. I feel like thinking like that mentality does give you the strength to be able to do what most people can't. Yep. This individual is he feels his mentality is that if he wills it into existence, it happens. He goes, if I'm going to punch you,
Yes.
I know that I'm going to punch through you.
Yes.
Kind of mentality.
Yes.
And what that did is bring in, you have a lot of young men, every ethnicity, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, that are flocking to him because they have no experience.
Yes.
Like how you have. We have adult experience to where you can kind of smell the bullshit a mile away. Concept of pyramid schemes and all that stuff.
Yes.
And people that tend to be, what is that called? What would you call, like not a speaker, what is it?
Like a personal speaker or public speaker? Maybe. Not a speaker?
Like people go to seminars to see this person talk.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Like a TED Talk thing.
Yeah, one of those kind of people that
like
are.
a seminar.
Is it a seminar?
It's a seminar.
I just don't know what you would consider that.
I mean,
kind of person.
It's public speaking.
So there's a handful of those people that in the world, they are considered 5%ers. Obviously, they're doing something, right?
Yes.
Because they're making money. Are they making money off of other people?
Yes.
They're not working hard. They're not hard working, grinding, 6 o'clock in the morning, working construction, physical labor.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's a smart adaptation to know how to make money by working the system for what it is.
Well, I mean, off top, so we'll probably have to have a part 2 because to really give you the feedback about this cat, we got to dissect him. And that's the thing. Anything like I'm gonna give you my 2 cents real quick, but I really feel we have to dissect this because, like I was telling Lynn, this is not new. This guy didn't just come out of nowhere. He's preying on the weak-minded, and the weak-willed.
I do agree with that. Yes.
These boys that he's getting into his collective and man boys.
It's females too. There's a couple females.
There's a couple females
from the link that I showed you. There's a couple females.
But that's mainly because they want to do research to see what he's saying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And most likely to discredit him in most parts because he is a chauvinist. He is a misogynist. He is an antagonist. He is kind of an asshole. But it makes sense because that's the shit we dealt with in high school.
Yes.
It's the bully. It's that guy. Give me your fucking money.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. And then he hits you in the face. And then either you have 2 options. You either get strong, beat his ass, or you stay weak and stay under his thumb.
And the reason why I do feel like society needs to have bullies like that is because it pushes other individuals to become stronger. It's the equivalent of like Dragon Ball Z, like we were just talking about. In order for the hero to get stronger, they need a villain in order to challenge them.
They need a battle.
And with this guy, because all of this shit happened, you got people that decided they needed to better themselves. I'm not saying it was for the best because obviously he made a profit off of this.
Yeah,
he made a profit to make these people better. For a while, you saw.
Almost over 10 years.
He built a profit off of being able to do all this stuff. Granted, he also was a kickboxing champion and had all that stuff in his background or for his persona, but it also gave people certain abilities to be able to project themselves or propel themselves to become less soft. Because I feel like we do have a lot of people in the world that have the soft mentality. They're fucking like what I do with at work all the time.
Yes.
They're very behind a
But
cubicle.
this is what you get when you have these movements now where toxic masculinity, old-fashioned men are toxic and the patriarchy and all this stuff. Then you end up with these weak soy boys. And then they see a Chad and they go, oh, I want to be like that Chad. That's not the right way.
No, it's not.
But that's what they see.
And I do agree. What was it? Joe Rogan said something a long time ago. It was a quote, and I'm going to fucking butcher it. He said, soft times make soft men, which makes life harder, and then hard times... It requires hard men to make better times, which in terms makes... I can't even think of the fucking verbiage.
It's ultimately saying
it's a cycle.
Do the work now, and then as time goes on, because you did the work, people are enjoying the fruits of your labor, so now they're softer because they don't have to work as hard as you did to get where they're at.
And then in order for that, we got into the stage now where, like you said, there's so many different types of, not cults, but like individual followings, feminists, and all that stuff to where... Everybody's gotten so soft where now that hardness is starting to being introduced back into there because that's what that would
men are naturally drawn to dominant figures,
and now
men or women.
Now that's becoming a thing, you got people are like, well, we need this hardness to make things better because right now shit sucks.
Shit sucks.
So
and what are you guys doing? You're screaming, you're whining, you're yelling, and nothing's changing.
Nothing's changing. So fucking bring the fire.
Yes.
Let this come in to reset standards so that we can become more solid.
Well, this is freedom of speech at its finest. This is how it should be. The man should be allowed to say whatever he wants to fucking say, and if you agree or disagree, that's how discourse happens. That's how we get smarter. That's how we identify.
It's communication.
Yeah, it's just like another YouTube channel's watching Abba and Preach. They miss old school racism because it blatantly identified the racist person or people that they could avoid. It's easy. I know you're a racist. Nowadays, everything is so under the radar. It's so nonchalant. It's so passive aggressive that if you go, hey, you're a racist, they go, no, I'm not. I haven't done this, and that. I have black friends because it's so low key. So that's what I think is going on now. We have all these people who are just soft and they just want to express themselves without feeling judged, without feeling censored.
And like it was the equivalent of, like I said, me putting out any kind of like a plead.
Yeah.
Like if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I have to consistently
just bottle it up.
I have to bottle
push
it up.
it down.
I have to bottle it up because I know I'm gonna have, and it's not like I'm a fucking superhero here, but I'm gonna have enemies that are gonna take advantage of it. I share my empathy and my emotion with certain people, and they're like, they're not taking into consideration what happens to me when I share this to them.
Right.
And then they take advantage of it by either abusing it and using me for whatever the fuck it is, or using it against me for showing acts of kindness and softness.
Yes.
So when I'm a dick and I'm fucking hard, I'm fucking stern.
Then everybody wants to listen.
Everyone wants to listen. And now everybody fucking loves me, and I'm the big bad wolf, and I'm intimidating. I'm like,
Why do I have to be that?
I have to be. You're forcing me to be an asshole.
Yes.
Because I do want to be nice. I do want to be kind. I want to be soft. I want to be loved. I like to be cared for, and it's like, can't do that. So I'm just gonna be a dick. Fuck everybody else. I can do this shit on my own.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my way if you're not gonna make my life any better.
Yeah.
And doing that, it makes me hard out of.
This is kind of a vulgar saying, but it's legit. I'd rather be a dick than an asshole, because what happens to assholes? They get fucked.
Okay.
All right.
I'm good. Yep.
So let's go ahead and wrap that up.
That was good. All right.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground. Always move.
Don't forget to check us out on TikTok, Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything under the sun. All the platforms. If you want to listen to us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Music, wherever, we're all over the place. Show us your love. Like, share, subscribe. Shout us out from the rooftops. I just headbutted my mic. I don't know how that happened. You did such a good job. Project Airwaves signing out.
Bye.
Next time.
So long.
Bamboo Taint.